My background is in mechanical engineering, and I've always liked making things. Making has been a huge passion of mine for most of my life.
Professor Chris von Bargen believes that there is nothing you can teach somebody. You can only help them learn.
About 10 years ago, when I started working at Lakehead University for Superior Science, the science program there, I started following Make Magazine and Instructables.com, which is two do-it-yourself communities where people basically went out and built and fixed things themselves and shared the information they learned with the community. And from that I learned there's a really large and growing community of people out there who like to do it yourself. And the mindset and attitude of the community is really breaking down barriers for education and manufacturing, because it's taking away the fear that anything is too complex or complicated for anybody. It really encourages people just to go out and try making whatever it is you want to make. So a 3D printer is a CNC machine, similar to a CNC router or lathe. The difference being that instead of having a milling or tooling head, the head of a 3D printer is like a glorified hot glue gun. It melts ABS plastic or PLA plastic, or really any material, because we can do most materials now, but it melts a filament material and then it extrudes it onto a layer. And layer by layer, it prints out your object. And behind me I have a printer going and it's printing out a sample object. And you can see it's doing one layer at a time. It prints out one layer, and then the table shifts and separates itself from the printing head, and it prints another layer. There are other styles of 3D printers that use liquid acrylics and lasers to cure the acrylics, but they all work in the same fashion. You do one layer at a time where you are either curing or printing a layer of your desired material and then moving on to the next layer. And this process is called additive manufacturing, and it's much less wasteful than traditional reductive manufacturing like milling techniques or lathe techniques.
Through this technology, we have the flexibility of creating products from houses to small pieces of jewelry, with material ranging from plastic to polycarbonates, carbon fibers, cement, or even metals and conductive materials.
I've been reading articles about people printing electronic devices where as soon as they put the battery in, the device is powered up and functional. The technology is moving very quickly, and I think we're going to see a lot of problems get solved that many people can't even identify as a problem because we didn't know that there was a better way to do something until now. One of the biggest issues that I think can be solved with 3D printing is large-scale manufacturing. Large-scale manufacturing is incredibly wasteful. So many of the products never get sold. We have to ship those products overseas back and forth, and the materials back and forth. With additive manufacturing, as the technology advances, we are getting to a point where many objects could be built on site without needing to ship things back and forth. So we're not too far off from a future where you could walk into a shop and tell somebody you want the latest cell phone made by whatever company, and they can download the files from that company through whatever licensing program is available and print for you or produce for you your phone right there. We are getting to the point where you don't have to ship thousands of a product. You can ship a design and people can go and order that product as they need it. We are encouraging our students in the third year program to make a product that takes the plastic that's been spent and no longer in use and find a way to recycle it and make some sort of maybe grind it down and put it onto a new spool of filament, which is like a plastic wire. And we really encourage the students to try and solve the problems on their own rather than us giving them the answers. I firmly believe one of the best ways to learn is by making the mistake yourself and going out and making the discovery. So I think by bringing additive manufacturing, specifically 3D printing, into communities and making it available to people, you provide an opportunity for people to not only exercise creative powers that they didn't otherwise know they had or have access to, but it really does give people a sense of creativity and accomplishment when you can see something almost instantly created before your eyes.
Chris has a vision of a global market that embraces additive manufacturing and continuous learning for all our world's people.
So to succeed in a manufacturing industry, what you really need is to show that you are a creative problem solver and be willing to try things and make mistakes and just keep making. Keep a portfolio of the things you make, document the things that you make, and make sure that you are good at what you do and show that passion that you really love it.
For Shaw TV, this is Akil Brayshaw.